Rob and Slim Show.
What's up? It's Blake.
Blake.
What's up, Blake?
Blake from
What's going on, guys?
Tap Snaps podcast.
Yes,
What is
sir.
what is Tap Snaps? I feel like it's like bag tag where you just smack your buddies in the balls.
Nah, it's not that fun. It's basically we're a group of writers and we come together and just talk about a bunch of dumb shit. Not unlike yourselves.
Yes, that's what we do. Well, we don't write. I read a skit called Too Many Rapes, but nobody's biting right now, Blake.
Well, I mean, listen, edgy writing right now is on the low. You know, you gotta put out something more wholesome.
What? I want to catch the eyes. I want the edge. I want people to be like, what the fuck is Too Many Rapes?
Nah, if you want to go edgy, you need to go edgier than that. You need to get like a transgendered like Muslim in a war-torn country that's like white. And then throw something in there like that type of edginess, but it's got to have like a wholesome message behind it.
Like a family unit. I don't do families. I don't.
Yeah, you got to do something like that. Get your foot in the door and then throw out Too Many Rapes, man.
What about a single dad like struggling?
Well,
in the war-torn country.
Is he like biracial Muslim? Because that might work.
Yes, and also transgendered.
Yeah, you got to check all those boxes before you get started. The real question is, when are you casting for Corpse in the Corner?
Ooh.
I forgot about Corpse in the Corner already.
Yes,
fuck! I told you to write that down.
I never write it down anymore. Corpse in the Corner.
I've got ideas for Corpse in the Corner.
Ooh, give me.
Well, I mean, obviously the Corpse in the Corner. You need to like do like a Weekend at Bernie's / Guy on the Couch from Half Baked. So like his lines have to be really good. But I mean, it's obviously going to be situational.
Well, yeah.
Whenever you start casting for that, like, please hit me up. I'd love to.
Yes.
For that part.
Years ago, I thought of Weekend at Bowie's after David Bowie died, and like it's like he owed some money to some mobsters, and he has to do like one last concert to pay the mobsters, and or the family gets killed, and so something happens.
You gotta throw some weird like freaky deaky occult shit in there because like, David Bowie was really into the occult,
like the Illuminati.
Yeah, kind of like the Illuminati are after him because he like has like some kind of scepter or special pants that he wasn't supposed to have. And,
Scepter pants.
David Bowie's magical glitter.
Yeah, that's
something.
Yeah, that's where he kept them in the scepter pants.
But yeah, I mean, so our podcast, man, we just shoot the shit. We sometimes we do news articles, sometimes we do themes.
Yes, that's what I was gonna ask. You do have like totally different episodes. You have episodes where you do just like topics, and then you have episodes where you talk about like shows, right?
Oh well, yeah, and then like we also. Up until now, we used to, because since we're all writers, we love talking shit about movies. That's one of our favorite things to do. And so you had the Imaginarium, which is what I hosted, and we'd go in on movies. We had a lot of success going in on The Last Jedi. That episode did really well. But people love to hate that fucking movie.
Well, that was the last one, right? Yeah, that one, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It was like, it could have been like cut down a lot more and like,
well, there was just so much fun you could have with that movie. Like, my favorite's when they get to the gambling planet. I don't really know what it's called. I just know everyone there's gambling and doing drugs.
Gamblers. It's the Robinson planet.
You remember like Benicio del Toro just shows up and like it starts clicking and like just being weird.
We want to trust you, Benicio.
But I was like, why would you ever leave that planet? Like, you get there and everyone's just having fucking fun and drinking and like doing like fluorescent blow. Like what a great planet to be on.
Right, I'm never
I was
leaving.
like, I'm not going back to this Rebel Alliance bullshit. I'm staying on gambling planet.
I'm the Gamlord. Gamlord. That's who they should have had. They should have had a character named the Gamlord.
Yeah, but we're moving away from that. We're getting ready to launch our own movie podcast under the same banner. It's going to be called The Cult of Classics. I'm getting ready to launch my own project called Third Shift, which is, as you guessed it, all about working third shift. So we got a lot of exciting stuff going on.
Have you worked third shift, Blake?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I am a manager of a convenience store, and I manage the third shift and sometimes run the entire store by myself.
Were you the one with the story of the chocolate milk? Who had the story of the guy? Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, the door I intentionally locked so people run into it. That guy ate shit, but he was an asshole. He deserved it.
He did. He did. He gave you trouble like for what? I don't know how long, but it was just like he gave you trouble like so much, and then he just tried running out of the door you had deadbolted, and he just fucking.
Well, he's like, I don't know if it's like a cool guy runs from explosions type situation, but some people just love to kick the fucking door open.
Oh, see,
or
I
like
do.
or go into it like they're like pass checking or like block checking someone in football.
Yeah.
And they just hit a fucking steel door that doesn't move, and I love it.
But even if I was like the nicest guy, if I was the nicest guy and I just got fucked up on your door of death, you.
It depends. Usually everyone's like, "Whoops, not that way."
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
how
like,
I think it would go.
And
That's how I think we go. Like, oh, I got the wrong one. But
I'm
this
like,
guy.
But yeah, no, he just ate shit.
And spilled his chocolate milk all over himself.
Oh, it busted. Well,
Yeah.
it busted when he hit the ground. And then he tried to get up, like put his hand down, tried to get up out of it, and just went back into it, and it got all over his shirt. And I was just like, "Thank you, God." Like, that was when I had my first like big religious experience.
I haven't had one of those yet.
Yeah, that was mine.
Oh, dude, what do you have lined up for Third Shifters? Do you have like interviews?
Oh yeah. It's interviews. It's story time. We got a Facebook group we're building where third shifters can go in and talk to each other in like a safe private space, so no one's gonna, call the FBI when someone's like, I'm thinking about killing my fucking boss, and
Yeah.
and then other people are like, does anyone know where I can get blow in this area code, and etc. But the first episode we actually just recorded, we had a 10-year veteran third shift Waffle House cook. And it was like, oh, if these walls could talk.
Yo,
and I was
his
like,
stories must have stories. Wow.
oh no, yes, it was awesome, and he's a really cool guy, and I've known him for a couple of years now, and I was like, for first episode we got to bring him in. We also had the distinct pleasure, both of us got a gun pulled on us at the same time.
Wow.
His store's right next to mine.
Okay.
Yeah, so we both got a gun pulled on us and shared that magical moment. And
How do you
it
act
really
in that
bonded
point?
us together.
How do you act in that situation? I don't know. I want to think I would be like, I don't give a shit, but I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
Oh, I just walked away right when the gun came out, and I was just like, all right. I was like, well, it was kind of like a shock factor where it's like, well, this isn't real. I'm just gonna go back to work.
Yeah. I had that
Yeah.
in high school. One of my, or middle school, somebody pulled a knife on me and like pressed it up against me, and I was like, yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm just walking, like, well, do it if you want. And I just kept going.
Well, these were just drunk guys fighting outside.
Okay.
And we were trying to break them up. Me and my guest, his name's Isaac. I'll shoot y'all that when we publish. We won't publish when we have about 3 episodes in the chamber. But yeah, so we're trying to break them up, and I guess he felt threatened because I'm a big guy. Isaac's a big guy. I guess he thought we were just going to come out of our places of work and assault him. And so he just pulled a gun and got scared. So I was like, all right, I'm out. Later.
See you, dude.
Yep. And so yeah, we shared that magical moment. Funny enough, that story didn't even get brought up. He's got way better stories than that, if you can imagine.
Wow, yo, he's got it. Like I said, I kind of felt that when he said 10 years. Well, Slim, how many did you do? 9?
It was 10.
Oh, you
10
did
year,
10?
I did,
I think 5.
Yeah.
And Slim did 10 years on a third shift.
It's just like I did it in retail, and there was the store was closed, so we were just stocking, so there isn't any crazy.
Yeah.
You'd get
Well,
the
you'd get a
occasional like
couple.
drunk guy that will try to come in at like 1:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And
We got more like the characters though. That
characters
Well, it's
like
like,
people who they hired.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got your degen coworkers.
Yeah.
It's essentially where that
Our
like,
BLs and
Yeah, Mr. Worthingtons. We had a lot. We had a lot of douchebags.
had a kid we used to call TQ, Texas Queer, because he
Oh.
pretended like when he started
Was that
this dude.
yes.
Yeah,
he was before I started, but I heard about him.
He pretended to have like a southern accent, and for like 3 or 4 days he would talk like he had a southern accent, and we started like hearing him slip, and we were like, dude, you're not from Texas, you don't have a southern accent at all.
Was he
Like-
the guy? One of my buddies, when I was working there as well, said they caught somebody in the men's room with his shirt off, kissing his biceps. Was that the guy?
No, that was
Okay.
that. I know
That
who
was
those
a
guys were.
different
That was a
guy.
guy. His name was Jose.
Dude, that's some American Psycho shit right there. Like he's just like in the mirror posing.
Well, it wasn't
That's
even
like-
just him. He had an ice cream cone, and I believe he was posing in the mirror with his bicep, eating an ice cream cone with another guy that was his buddy who also had an ice cream cone and checking out his bicep. So,
No, you gotta have ice cream buddy. Ice cream bicep buddy.
I mean, how do you start that conversation? Like, hey man, you wanna like go in the bathroom and like do what?
I just want to take a picture.
our
I
shirts
just
off?
want to take
Yeah.
a picture and eat ice cream. Please, come on,
like-
come on.
Take our shirts off, go in the bathroom, maybe eat some ice cream. Like, I'm like, what are you trying to say to me? Like, is this all like really, really like covert code for something?
this is real. This is third shift
Dude,
shit.
that's third shift shit right there. God damn.
Yeah, when you got third shifters that work among like other degen third shifters inside behind locked doors, and then you have when the public comes in.
Yeah. See, we didn't deal with the public. So that was at least one thing.
It's
we
the
had in our
magic
favor.
hours, man.
Yeah.
It's the magic hours. My favorite is and I don't know if this is just from because I write, but I love seeing the cross times where you have around like 11 to midnight you'll still have normal people out.
Oh,
Like
it's
just
like
completely
changed.
yeah, and maybe they're traveling and they got in some traffic.
Yeah.
Or it's just a late one. Maybe there was a school function and there's like a nice nuclear family.
Or a mom
know?
needs like baby Tylenol. Their
Yeah,
kid has
yeah.
a fever and they gotta come to you to get it.
Exactly. And they come in and they grab a couple of things and they're real nice and polite. And then in behind them comes a dude who hasn't slept in 3 days wearing like rain boots and a fucking like tunic. And he's just blitzed out of his mind. And he just comes and he's like, what the fuck is going on? And, you just get to see this clash of like what I'm used to, which is just absurd, drunk, drugs,
Yeah.
crazy people, and then
But
like normal people who
nobody-
don't really see this shit.
Yeah, they're not used to that. You are, but they're not.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, I don't even flinch anymore. Like when I first started, it would kind of bother me, but now you just kind of like nod your head and agree with them as they just like it's almost like a train of thought, spoken word meth poetry. And you just kind of like nod along and you're like, yep. I'm like, well, listen, man, I got to get back to work. You should probably get going. And they're like, yeah. And it's a lot. That's one of my favorite parts.
That's good.
You know what I was just thinking? I remember too, like doing that shift, and like you get the people that come in at 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night, and the females, the shit they would wear at 11 o'clock at night. You're just like, what? Like I now work like during a day shift, and I don't see that anymore. But like at 11 o'clock at night, that drunk girl come in like fucking half naked, all tattooed
Yes.
up.
Yeah.
Just we were, it was bad.
Yeah.
well, then you get like the 3:30 a.m.
Oh.
and they like come in just wearing a shirt.
I was gonna say we
like,
never got
that's
that far. Our store
It's like they
closed at midnight.
they just like put their boyfriend's shirt on and come in and get like ice cream,
Like
Advil
just
PM.
just cum leaking down their legs still. They didn't even clean
Or
up.
the guy. It's the guy wearing that, and he's got a turtle head popping out and cum leaking
What?
out.
Oh my
Well,
God, Rob, you were there for this. There was a dude that worked for like 3 or 4 days wearing just like a mesh shirt. Worked there. Do you remember that?
don't know.
Like
I
mesh
would- I
shirt
feel
guy.
like I
He
would
was-
remember that.
He was
I-
just like shirtless wearing a fucking mesh shirt. It
My
was
job before
ridiculous.
that job, we had a guy that every day wore a mesh shirt. It was also a half shirt. He wore a half mesh shirt. That guy, he was the
Dude,
greatest.
the mesh shirts are crazy because we'll have like women come in with just like a mesh shirt and like a skirt on, and it's just like their tits are out, and they just come in, and I just have to pretend like everything's fine. Like don't say shit about it. Don't
No.
provoke the situation. into
Never bring up a
escalation.
mesh shirt to a
I'm
mesh
a
shirt wearer.
professional. Yeah, I'm a professional. I never say shit. I do judge in my mind
Yeah.
and bring it up to my friends later.
What
but
I'll
I
say
don't-
is I don't judge. I'll let God. I'll let God judge. I won't judge. What Blake? What are you guys writing for? What are you guys writing for?
Right now, man, we of course registered with the Screenwriters Guild, and we started pitching pilots to some studios in Atlanta. And they basically told us, they were like, yeah, we like it. We just don't know if there's a big enough market. Right now we're working on a pilot for a professional esports team that basically live together, and they're just a bunch of fucking degenerates that play video games. And they're trying to get to a big tournament. They live and practice together, and they're all kind of unhinged and very strange. And so that's kind of like the backdrop to this kind of TV series, this kind of show we wanted to write, based around a video game called Dota 2, which is insanely popular. And I play it. A buddy, one of Tarver, my friend and writer, and also one of the guys on Tap Snaps, he plays it. And so we just kind of threw a pilot together and started shopping it around, and we got positive responses on it, but no one wanted to like pull the trigger and give us like, you know, 20 grand to like actually do the pilot. So from there we went on and we just started producing it ourselves on just a budget of shoestrings and bubble gum, and but we do have some really good gear that we're recording with, and we have a lot of talented people we work with that are helping us edit it. Tarver's a really good video audio editor. So we're kind of just, we took the pilot and synthesized it down into basically some webisodes that we're going to be publishing. Cool. And we're going to try and kind of build some momentum with that. And if that works, then we're thinking the pilot will be a little more receptive if we have kind of a proof of concept for it. And then if not, we're going to move on to another project, because there's no slowing down or waiting. That's a bunch of loser shit.
I love that.
You just gotta throw shit, and if it sticks, it sticks. If it's not, work on, go to the next project. And so that's where we started writing together, but we all write individually too and have our own projects. We got some short films in the pipe. We work with some other writing groups and production, little kind of do-it-yourself production groups around here in Middle Georgia. Where we've been working with them on a feature-length film is in the works for us to kind of collaborate on, or at least do some of the production side for. I might be acting in it, so that's fun and exciting. So really, we're just trying to kind of build this scene, because you have, like, in Atlanta, you have all this money moving in. We call it Hollywood South now.
That's what I was gonna ask, if it's a good spot.
I mean, dude, HBO's there.
Wow.
There you got satellite networks popping up in Atlanta, because Georgia cuts insane discounts to these companies to film on location in Georgia. And Georgia also is unique in that it offers scenery that can mimic lots of different regions. Like, certain parts of Atlanta look like New York.
Wow.
Certain parts of the rural South look like the Midwest. You can go to the coast of Georgia and mimic much of the East Coast. It's very easy. We have mountains too.
Wow, you got it all.
Yeah. So a lot of these production studios, these big production studios, have kind of started paying attention to this, and that's why in Macon, so we're in Macon, which is just south of Atlanta, about an hour. We've had 4 major studio films in the past 3 months filming here. Just in Macon. That's no telling where else in Georgia they're going. But Zombieland 2 was in Macon for about 3 weeks. I kept hoping I was going to run into Jesse Eisenberg, so I could be like, "Hey, everybody, look, it's Michael Cera," and just see if I could like elicit an emotional reaction out of him.
When Zombieland 2 come out? I didn't know there was one.
I don't know if it's come out yet.
Wow, I didn't know they were doing one. I love Zombieland.
I saw the trailer for it recently. I forget what movie I saw, but I saw a movie in theaters. I think it was it too. I saw it too, and I saw the trailer for Zombieland 2.
Yeah, no, I never thought they were doing another one.
Oh,
that's
and
awesome.
Fun fact: the crew that was filming Zombieland 2 was actually a lot of the same crew that did Avengers Endgame, and I got to meet a lot of them because they came into my store at odd hours because they were staying in the hotels near me,
awesome.
And I got to meet them and talk to them. They all had on these giant jackets with the Infinity Gauntlet on the back of it.
That's amazing.
Did you get a lot of selfies?
No. I had to play it cool. Because I didn't want to be that guy, at my job being like, I also write. And
I would be that guy.
And if you got a second, I'd love to like get your take on this. Nah, I don't want to be that guy.
Oh,
but
I'd be that guy.
I'm pretty sure Rob actually did that, running into what was it, the dude from the kid from Stranger Things, where you're like, you gotta like interview with us.
Yeah, I was like, can I get a selfie? And here's my card from a podcast and do an interview. Yeah, no.
That's shameless self-promotion.
Yes, I have no shame. I'm like, I'm a dick, but I'd be nice to you in an interview. And he's like, I don't care. I'm a dick. But he He never got back to me. But yeah, I took full advantage. But
yeah, so up in Atlanta, man, the sharks are swimming and there's blood in the water. So there's a lot of hungry production studios up there, but they're not really taking chances on people outside of Atlanta. And
like in New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of talented people here in Macon.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to kind of put it together, work with other people doing similar stuff, and kind of build our own little scene down here outside of Atlanta.
Nice. Is that where's Walking Dead filmed? Is that Georgia?
Oh yeah. Walking Dead's filmed in a couple of different places in Georgia. I know they filmed in Atlanta a few times. I believe one of their episodes was in Macon, and then they left Macon at one point. It was kind of when they were traveling around. And I'm trying to remember the prison, when they were in the prison for that entire 2 seasons.
Yes.
That was actually, I want to say West Georgia. I forget where it was, but almost that entire show is shot in Georgia.
That's what I thought. And I think Steve Coulter is down there. I think he's in Georgia.
I think a lot of people get down here and just actually really enjoy Georgia. We're a very unique place, and we have a lot of really interesting people and interesting places, and you get kind of a mixture of both. Southern hospitality is alive and well in most parts, and so that's also kind of a weird push that's been happening as we're trying to tell kind of stories from a Southern perspective in some cases, where a lot of times that gets lost in translation, and but a lot of our writing and stuff like that, you can tell when you read it that it's a little different. And I think it has something to do just with where we're from. And I think in some ways that can be alluring to people that want to kind of take a risk on some of these short films, or even kind of even throwing some money down on producing a pilot, is that shit down here is just a little different.
That's new. Where I think Adult Swim is down there too, right? William Street?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
A lot of shit's down there. That's crazy.
Yeah. So the only thing now we need is something similar to SNL in Atlanta, and get some Southern comics up there, because I mean it's wild down here, man. And like I said, Atlanta's blowing up so huge. Atlanta's now got a pretty respectable comedy circuit. We're trying to kind of get Middle Georgia on the map in the same way that New York and LA is as far as comedy, but our hotel rooms aren't $800 a night, and you can afford to eat out. Let's
raise that money. Let's raise those hotel rates. Let's call it ANL instead of SNL, and it could be anal. I want to watch anal, and it could be.
And then we throw out Too Many Rapes, Corpse in the Corner, and we build our network. We build our brand, guys. This is how it gets started.
And you got a famous internet rapper who does jingles.
He calls barbershops anytime you want. Anytime you want, Blake.
You talk about the car wash barbershop rapper?
Yes, he's right here.
I'll just do that. I'll do everything.
Dude, one last thing you got to throw on the end of that is you got to be listen, big things coming, big things coming. That's what the rappers always say.
That's a phrase in the industry. Big things coming.
Yeah, big things coming. But God, I love that shit. I want more drizzle.
More drizzle. I can't get enough drizzle. Blake, dude, what were you saying?
Well, I was just gonna say, I was drinking with a couple of my buddies the other night who just don't watch my show at all because they're morons. But they're assholes. But we were drunk and they just started talking about drizzle and shit on food, and I was like, yeah, I'll drizzle some shit all over them. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, yeah, you want to fucking talk about some drizzling? And I'm like, I don't. They were like, are you all right? I'm like, I'm fine, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, really, drizzle is you're slowly becoming your alter ego.
Yeah, that's it.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with that. It unchains you. It unshackles you having an alter ego. My rap alter ego is the Mothman.
Ooh.
And but see, it's high production. I gotta have a mask with red eyes.
Yeah, because that fucking Mothman can't fucking rap. That's why it's high production. You gotta cloak it in a bunch of special effects and shit. I know, because I'm better than that.
pyrotechnics. I mean, I hear.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just an art form, man.
I'm
You know,
gonna
there's
get the
different ways.
Driz. I'm
to
gonna get
approach
the
it.
Driz some sparklers. We'll be okay. We'll be okay.
That's all he needs is just some sparklers.
Blake, we have to wrap this up, dude. But it's been a blast talking to you.
Yeah, man, it's been great. I appreciate you guys having me on the show, man. I
Appreciate you
love
coming
listening to
on.
y'all and seeing y'all's dumb shit on on Twitter.
There's been a lot of dumb shit. Blake. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me also posting dumb shit on Twitter at TapSnapsPC. You can find me on Facebook at TapSnaps3, and you can find me on Instagram at TapSnapsPodcast. We update them regularly with our episodes. Our new podcasts are going to be under that umbrella and are going to be put out on those platforms too. And once we're done editing this web series, that's also going to be dropping on there along with any other projects we're doing. So we're trying to kind of keep everyone updated with all the stuff that's going on. And there's a lot of good shit on there, and we love talking to people, and we love interacting with other podcasts. And like I said, I really appreciate you guys bringing me on.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, and we will count on you for Corpse in the Corner episode.
I mean, at least let me read. Like when we get the script hammered out for the first episode, I want to do a reading. I want to be in consideration to play the corpse.
Where do we get a corpse?
Do you think it's the same corpse, or is it a different corpse every episode?
A different corpse.
That's a really good question.
Right?
And
Great.
What you need to do is you need to change the corpse out like every 2 or 3 episodes, and each corpse can kind of have like its own kind
Story.
of personality
Like,
theme.
how do we get
or
rid of
maybe-
this corpse? It's ruining Thanksgiving. Like, how do we get this thing out of here? But there's always another corpse. There's
I like
always
holiday themed corpse. Like one's just decorated with like Christmas lights.
Shit.
Thank you, Blake.
All right, guys. Thanks. Y'all take it easy.
You too,
Have
my
a good
man.
one.
Later, boys.
Later.